Hi, my name is Chris. I'm going to show you the ropes. I'm going to show you some knots. Watch carefully. We start with a reef knot. This is one of the simplest knots. Very easy to tie, very easy to undo, but it will not slip. It is normally used for tying two ropes together. Let's see how it is done. Make a bend in one of the ropes and take the other rope, feed it through like that, around the back and out the same way again. Note that there the loop is underneath the left hand rope and here the loop is above the right hand rope. We now simply pull and we have a very, very strong joint. The sheet bend is useful for tying two ropes of different thickness together. Start with a thicker rope and as before with a reef knot, make a bend. Then we take the thinner rope and we pass it underneath, over and through there, like that. And pull and you have a very strong joint of two ropes of different thickness joined together. The sheet bend. Here we have the round turn and two half hitches. This is useful for tying the end of a rope to a pole or a piece of wood or a tree. To make this knot, we start with a fairly long end piece, depending on the thickness of the pole or the tree. The thicker the pole or the tree, the longer this loose piece has to be. Take it round once, fully, and a half turn. Then bring it over the rope and around the back through like that. And then again over the rope, around the back and through like that. And there you are. You have the round turn and 2.5 hitches or 2 half hitches. You can adjust the knots, bring them back, tidy things up, and there you go, a very secure anchor to a pole or a tree. Next is the bowline, which is a loop which will not slip. It is often used as a tying on knot for climbing without a harness. To start this bowline, lay out a loop roughly the size required. Then make a smaller loop like this, away from yourself, coming in, going round and coming back towards the loop. Then take the end of the rope, pass it through the small loop from underneath, take it round and under the main rope, then bring it back through the small loop again and then simply pull tight. There you have your bowline, which is fairly easy to adjust. If you want it bigger, you simply feed in more rope, you pull out, feed more rope, pull out, and there you are, you have a much bigger loop. The bowline. Next is a clove hitch. which is ideal for securing a rope to a pole or tree, but not at the end. If you have a long rope and somewhere in the middle or somewhere along its length, you wish to secure it to something, then you would use the clove hitch. To tie the clove hitch, start at the point where you actually want your rope to go around. Then you make a loop, pull back one end and over like that, then round again and through underneath the loop like that, and pull tight, and there you are, the clove hitch. Another knot which is excellent for joining two ropes is the double fisherman's knot. This knot is not as straightforward as the reef knot. We start by laying two pieces of the ropes to be joined side by side. The actual lengths would depend on the thickness of the rope. So let's start with the right hand side rope. Bring it along and loop it over the other rope, around the back, over itself and the other rope again, and then feed the loose end through both loops and pull. Then we go to the other side and do the same. We go over around the back, make a loop, we come back, make another loop and feed the loose end through both loops, and there we are, pull tight, and we have an extremely strong joint. Our last knot is the figure of 8 knot, which you can use to make a loop of any size. To make a loop with a figure of 8 knot, you need to feed out quite a bit of rope depending on what you need. You may have to experiment a little. So let's try this. Then you make a figure of 8 loop at the point where we want the knot. Bring it over, the loose end under and through, and there you have your figure of 8. Now you take the loose end of your loop and you feed it back through that loop there and around the back again and through there again, and you simply tighten your figure of 8, and there you are, a very strong knot, figure of 8 knot with a loop at the end.